kitchen. Sam's 25-year-old
Okay,
boyfriend,
so
Fonte
I am
Dulo,
back.
who made the chaotic 911
I'm
call,
still going to
is
the
just
methadone clinic, by
outside
the way.
and in the throes
I'm at 80
of a
milligrams.
meltdown. We
To
spoke
be
to
honest,
Fonte
I haven't
ourselves
completely
in a new
stopped
exclusive interview
doing
that
the
you'll hear
boy
later.
heroin, whatever you want to call it. I'm not doing quite as bad as what I was doing, for sure. I'm just having a hard time letting go of that last little bit. Um, I would say I don't know why, but I know exactly why. Because I've been doing it on and off for the last 30 years. It's become a very integrated part of my routine and in my life. Um, but I don't know exactly what I want, what direction I want my channel to go in. I know I definitely don't want it to continue me being high or getting high on my videos, which, that's really not cool. I did it not to be cool, but I did it to try to give everyone a glimpse into the life of an addict somewhat. That was just the tip of the iceberg there. And anyway, so I have a feeling that as long as I stick with this, for a minute, I'm going to be all over the place, because there's so many things that I have wanted to do, learn, or finish, but my addiction's got in the way, or laziness, or procrastination, and I don't really get things done until I finally do. And that would be one day I wake up and I just say I'm going to do this, and I end up doing it. Sometimes it's too late. But, so anyway, I think I'm going to start with, try to be a little more organized instead of jumping from thing to thing. I think I'm going to try to maybe talk about each individual idea that I've had in the last, I don't know how many years. It's more of a pipe dream, I don't see it ever happening or coming true. I just thought it was a cool idea to have, let's say, a wild game restaurant. That was one of my ideas. Another idea that I had, I don't want to get into all that because I'm going to talk about each one of these, I think, as my page progresses. Now, I haven't been able to drop the cocaine yet either, and that's been a big problem for me here lately. I do believe maybe even a bigger problem than the heroin / fentanyl. From now on, let's just refer to it as heroin, even though it's not. It's easier that way. So anyway, just because I'm high doesn't mean that I don't have ideas and great ideas. I think they're great ideas, but like I said, I'm very open to any kind of constructive criticism. I'm very open to hearing what your take is on my ideas. If you think they're crap, I really want to know. If you love them, I want to know. I am very good at taking criticism as long as it's not in a hateful way. If you feel that I'm wrong, and maybe I would love it if you would prove me wrong, because if I'm wrong, I really would like to move on or build on my ideas with whatever you all have in your minds. So I guess we're going to start off with, I did write down a few ideas, with something that I think about a lot, and that is recovery. Mind you, I have not yet had a significant amount of time in recovery in a long time. But then again, I wasn't trying. So, like I said, I'm still getting high right now. But that's not what I want this to be about. So, I'm going to go off camera for a minute, just go off the grid here. Sorry. There. Ooh, where'd you go? There, see how simple and fast that was? He said, I don't want to be a trigger, I want to help people. I gotta help myself too. And that's proven to be pretty difficult. I can surely tell you how to live your life, but I have a hard time following my own advice, even though it's great advice and I know exactly what I need to do to fix my problems. It's just easier said than done sometimes, especially when sometimes you wonder if you really even want to. I mean, you do, but you don't. I guess that would suffice to say that I would love to learn how to be a functioning addict. But maybe for some people that's a possibility. For me, I have yet to see that happen, except for in the very beginning. So anyway, I wanted to tell you some of the ideas that I've come up with over the years about recovery and the recovery community and what I feel that is being done wrong. First off, when you first go into rehab, we go in there, so a lot of times we're court ordered. And I think that's wrong. I don't think that we should be court ordered and be put in with their rehab with people who are there again in their own free will. I think that ruins it for the people who want to be there. I hate to hear a person say, well, I have to be here. No, you don't have to be there, and that's one thing you gotta get in your head. You don't have to do anything. You're there because you don't want to suffer the consequences that the courts imposed on you if you don't go to rehab. So get that straight. You do not have to be there, okay? I once came up with a list of all the things that you absolutely have to do in life, and there was not very many. Die is one of them. I do think you have to have your bodily functions, like peeing and stuff like that, because it will just happen on its own, whether you want it to or not. You don't have to eat. You don't have to live. You can choose to off yourself. That being said, there was not very many things that you absolutely have to do in life. They say you have to die and pay taxes. You don't have to pay taxes. If you're willing to suffer the consequences of your actions, there's a lot of things that you don't have to do. So anyway, I know the first time I went into rehab, I was court ordered, and I went in there and I thought I knew it all. I did not listen to what the counselors or the doctors had to say because I knew myself and I knew that their way was not going to work for me. I didn't give it a chance. I was hard-headed, and that's a bad attitude and the wrong attitude to go in with. You should go in with a more open mind and think maybe these people have something that I can learn from. That's an invaluable lesson. Anything that you can pick up and learn, and you can always learn. Later on, I critiqued and I saw things that were wrong with that recovery community and the platforms. But in the beginning, I didn't have anything to go on, and it was just my ego that, you can't help me, and I know what's best for me. And at that point in time, I think you need to relax and let your guard down and let these people possibly try to help you, because you will benefit somewhat from that. Even if you don't agree with everything, you will benefit most if you allow yourself to. Another thing, and this is real crucial, trying to go into recovery, is you got to stop playing that blame game. And that's very hard for some people because they really honestly believe that everyone else is at fault for their addiction, for their problems. No. At this point, you are responsible, and you are, at this point, in my life, any shitty thing happening in my life is a direct result of some fucked up thing that I did. I am so past, my stepfather or my mother having an effect on what I do in life today. And that's the truth. I don't get high because of these deep-seated thoughts of being molested. No, I've come to the conclusion I get high because I want to. I think I'm running out of time. That's another thing that I want to learn is how to make better videos on here. So I might have to see you here in just a second because I think my video is going to end right about now. So if